Good morning all, it's Jack Shed here, it's about 5 AM, which is a bit early to start on the restorations, but we can have a quick chat about hammers. Later I'm going to be tackling ScoutCrafter's Short Handled Hammer Challenge, which is a bit of a mouthful. But I thought I'd have a quick chat about some hammers from a collection which I keep buying. Recently, you might have saw I got this S-Wing from the boot sale for 50p. I think I overpaid. Look at the state of that. It rusted all the way through into because someone had wrapped tape around it when it was already damp, which had trapped the moisture in, and now that's only fit for about the scrap bucket, I think. This is the last S-Wing I restored. Gave her an oak handle. Not the best when it comes to woodwork, but I do try. And this had a similar leather stacked handle, but does the job. But my go-to user has to be this soft iron Thor hammer, number 2. It's similar in size to a small lump hammer. It's got the tactical purple tape. It was purple once, it's a bit grimy now. Nothing wrong with the handle underneath, it's just varnished, and I feel the tape gives me a bit more gription for giving things a good whack. So this lives on my bench. This is my go-to hammer. Soft enough that it doesn't mar, but it's got the weight to get the job done. Now the Thor Hammer company, based in Birmingham, they make lots of lovely hammers, and I own lots of them. This one's rawhide on one side, copper on the other. Nice hammer. They also do large rubber mallets with replaceable faces. Let's have a look at this. There you go. Now, there's lots of specialty hammers here. Like, this is a solid copper, quite a long handled, almost a small sledge. It's copper because it's non-sparking, can be used in gas working environments. This was boot sale find many moons ago. Lovely hammer, decent swing, and God knows what one of them would cost you new, but thankfully it was only a pound or 50p from the boot sale. This is a nice French pattern Marples claw hammer. Lovely old handle, just a pretty piece. I don't use it all that much, but I just like the design. This is just a cheap ball peen that gets used a lot around here. I'd shorten the handle, but I like the handle as it is, so it'll have to be a different one for the restoration challenge. This here is a tinsmithing or silversmithing hammer for rounding. I don't do any tinsmithing, but I do like a specialty tool. This is another one in the same category, with a domed square face, domed round face, for a similar tinsmithing or the like. Lovely hammer. This is a upholsterer's tack hammer for driving small tacks. Has the magnet on the one side for starting off your tacks. This had to have a fix here, just a piece of wood sandwiched in. But it holds up. Needs sanding and staining. That's good for those precision jobs. These are both for car bodywork. Sykes Pickavants. Two very similar faces on that side, but one has a fine point, one has a sort of a flat cross peen. This one comes in very handy for my amateur blacksmithing. I used this recently to give a nice hammered finish on a thumb screw I made for a set of wing dividers, which I might show later on. This hammer is already quite short, about 8 inches when I measured it, which isn't far off ScoutCrafter's challenge. This is a cobbler's hammer for leatherwork shoemaking. Quite heavy but quite short to give you the precise work when you're working over the last, stretching out the leather. Nice little hammer. I've got another one of these in my leatherworking toolkit. Here is 2 ball peens, possibly this proto, if you can read that, might become the short-handled hammer. It has quite a large, comically large, in fact, handle on it. Which, I mean, you'd have to be about half a mile away from your work, so that might get shortened. Proto's a good make as well. You don't see them very often in the UK. Here's 2 wooden hammers. This is the pear-shaped design. Sometimes used for lead work. It's nice. I think it's boxwood or something like that. Lovely shape, design. Nice feel. Don't use it, but like the look of it, so I'll keep it. This one puzzled me for a while because it's wood, but it's so dense that I didn't think it was wood at first. I don't know what kind of wood it is. If anyone has an idea, it's quite dark, but it's so dense. It's got quite a lot of weight to it as well for a wooden mallet. So I kept that one. That probably came in an auction haul. I like this engineer's hammer. This is a modern one with quite an interesting method of mounting the head so you can quickly replace the handles. You see that torque screw made by Spax? They're a good German manufacturer. Good aura, purple paint, and an overstrike collar which has seen some action. Nice modern hammer, engineer's style. Quite good, not too heavy. Strong handle, lovely. I like that one. This design here is quite an old design. It's called a strapped handle. See how the head of the hammer is split down the middle, form 2 straps which are then riveted into the wood handle. Usually quite strong, but once they go it's difficult to fix. Well, it's difficult to fix for me. There's probably an easy way of doing it that I don't know about. This smaller jeweler's hammer also has the strap design, a nice swell at the bottom for quite fine work. This is a bricklayer's hammer, going out pointing, breaking bricks, etc. I didn't paint it, some barbarian did when I bought it. I'm not a bricklayer, I don't need this hammer, but it's an unusual design. Had to come into the collection. Here is 2 more silversmithing, tin knocking, copper forming style hammers, which can be quite expensive. Right, I pick them up when I see them for cheap. I don't do any of that kind of work, but doesn't mean I can't have them. Here's another hammer for you. Quite an unusual shape. George Barnsley, which was a predominantly leatherworking manufacturer in the UK. Well, that's quite an old hammer. Quite a nice style, but handle's far too long. This is a very simple ball peen, which could be a good candidate for the challenge, but I like the thin handle. It's got lots of whip to it. This was one of those, I overlooked it for a while, and I used it once, and now it's in circulation more often. Just because the handle's so comfortable, but it might be even better shortened. But I think a heavier head is what I'll go for the challenge. This is a heavy blacksmithing hammer that came from a rail yard. Stamped 1944. It's heavy. It's got a big, flat, rounding head and a peen. This needs a restoration. This one's quite a shorty. Ball peen, braids. This might get a tart up for the challenge, I think. But you can't forget the lump hammer. Classic tool, get you out of trouble, providing you don't hit your thumb with it. Yeah, that'll make sure you pay attention in the future. Right, so I think that's enough of my hammers. Well, there is this cute little White House ball peen. But no, I think that's enough of my hammers for now. In the next clip, you'll see me tarting up this hammer. I think I'll probably put some paint in here where it's already painted black. We'll see what paint I have in the collection. Thanks for watching so far. Some clips of the restoration to come, thank you. Right, we've got the hammer in the vise here, pre-restoration. And we're going to get to the important part. So I've marked just past 7 inches with a line, and we're going to cut this hammer short. Now it doesn't have to be very accurate because I'm going to sand this. Now if you've got fancy power tools, you can use them here. But the handsaw should do the job. And there we have it, a shortened hammer. I could say job done and end the challenge there. Oh, that completely changes the dynamics. It's quite forward heavy, this little proto. But obviously I'm not going to leave it there like that. This needs radiusing on this end. Handle needs a clean up. It's a nice golden colour, but needs a clean up. And the head, a couple of bangs, a couple of marks. That needs a clean up as well. But there's no going back now. The handle's cut. That's probably another 7-inch handle. Right, on to the next part. Right, let's get into the scraping of this handle. The sharp blade makes a quick difference between the old and the new. This is a combination of sweat, varnish, old finish, but that cleans it up nice. and saves your abrasives as well. These bits around here are always a bit harder to get to, but look at the difference that makes. Next stage I think will be some hand sanding and finish, but before that, good wire brushing. Might put paint in these parts here, I don't know. Hello, we're back again. The head's had a wire brush and a bit of a go on the Scotch-Brite wheel. The handle's had a sand. I'd recommend these mesh sanding pads. These are Bosch. All the sawdust goes straight through. I've put a bevel around the end so it doesn't catch the hand. Next time you see this hammer, it'll be completed. Right, hello everyone, I've just finished my entry to ScoutCrafter's Hammer Challenge. I have to say, there's been some great entries. I've seen Tool Addicts, that was really good. I've seen John Fix's, I've seen ScoutCrafter's own entry. Here's my humble entry to the Small Hammer Challenge. Polished up the sides. Hit it with a touch of purple, like the tactical purple grip of my go-to hammer. Shorten it. I scraped and sanded the handle, and I hit it with a blowtorch. Got it nice and warm, and it's been waxed 3 times now. So this little proto hammer is going to join Shirley on the workbench as a regular. It's a completely different feel now that it's short. Quite forward heavy, probably quite good for punches, for lettering or drifting pins or whatever. So, that's my entry. Thanks for watching.